So I'm still not done peeling paint. I'm mostly done, but I'm not done. And I wanted to go over, I keep talking about, like chemicals and solvents and, different primers and paints and whatnot, just like not jiving with each other over the years. And this is kind of a really good example of this. So from memory, and now keep in mind guys, I am not a body guy for my daytime job. I kind of just like work in a shop. I photograph and I like absorb this stuff as much as I can. So this is a really good example. Now, normally you would think this is like stone and like rock chips, but it's not. It goes down pretty much to the whole panel here, at least in the center area. And what this actually is this is actually what a lot of guys would call solvent pop. And I'll show you a better example of this in the actual primer itself, if this will focus here. Okay, let's see. Come on. I want to be able to give you guys like a really good look. Okay, so now you can see when I'm pulling and razor blading the paint off, I do kind of get this like pebbly texture because it wants to stay adhered in little microscopic sections, and I'm forcefully lifting it. So in some areas it's lifting more layers of the primer than others, but this area here you can see it's pretty clean, and it's kind of in the shape of a dent. Now, I don't know for sure because I haven't stripped this down yet, but I'm kind of wondering if this is an area of filler. Now, to go into solvent pop and stuff of that nature, if this was an area of filler behind this here, that would make sense, because you're having the filler, as it goes through as many heat cycles as it does over years and years and years and years, there are, chemicals and gases that will slowly release from the filler for actually a surprisingly long time after it's already been applied, sanded, and cured. And as a result, you'll get this thing called shrinkage. And shrinkage is really hard to explain until you're staring at a car that is a perfect example of it. And it's really hard in most lighting to see good shrinkage. But shrinkage is essentially when you have a section that has filler, and when you applied the filler and you sanded it, it was flawless. But then over like 10 years or so, the plastic and the polymers in it slowly kind of essentially dry out. And when they do that, like anything else that dries out, it kind of shrinks and shrivels up a little bit. Like if you have a plant that you haven't watered in a long time, the soil in it will be like smaller than the cup it's been in, when normally when that soil is hydrated, it's like a perfect fit and you wouldn't be able to separate the soil from the glass. Same thing here. So when you have filler that shrinks, you see how you see this outline here? Think of the outline of it as like a little like low spot, like a little low like ring around the whole thing. And you can envision if you bring like an LED light over that, you're gonna see that little ring. Like if this was covered in paint and you couldn't see what you see right now, you'd see a little like ghost ring, because it would be, and you wouldn't be able to feel it with your fingertips necessarily, but it would be microscopically smaller. And as a result, if you're trying to detail a car like that, in a garage, you're gonna be mortified with what you see because there's gonna be signs of filler everywhere like that. So that is essentially, I don't know exactly what this is, but that's kind of just like a short explanation into shrinkage and solvent pop, and why or how you might get solvent pop. So I hope you guys appreciate that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going peeling paint.